Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 66. Woo!
Yay!
That's some big milestone, right? That means we can go kill all the Jedis.
We can start thinking about retirement now.
No.
Oh, I've been thinking for a while.
Well, you can't retire at 65 anymore, so you can just think about it.
That's true.
I've been thinking of that since like episode 2.
Wow. Come on. We're now taking applications for co-host of I Am Geek. Please send them to iamgeekshow@gmail.com.
Or tweet us.
Expectations are low.
Anyways, welcome to I Am Geek, episode 66. I am Ryan. Catron's here, and you heard him whining and complaining. My brother Chris is here with us.
That's what I do.
I don't know if we should just start over.
No.
Let's
keep it going.
Yeah, let's keep it all in. I don't know.
It's fine.
It's comedy.
Well, we were trying to decide what to do tonight, and last week we were trying to decide what to do, and we put out a poll. So one of them was a verse battle. So we thought we'd do a verse battle tonight. So if you don't want to hear that, then stick around. Because
what?
I'm confused.
I don't know. Anyways, the verse battle. So last year, it may have been around this time. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the dates. We had something called Battle Royale with cheese that we did. We reversed to like people to fight, and which made the now famous or infamous phrase "arrow to the neck" very popular amongst the three of us.
Yeah, all the kids these days are using that term.
Saying arrow to the neck. Anyways, but so we thought we'd take a little different take on it because we, the three of us have been playing PS4 together. If you're on PS4, let us know. Send us an email or something, or tweet us, and we'll hook up on there and play some games.
Maybe.
But Kate,
as long as you're not better than us.
Yeah, I think that's everybody though.
It's not hard.
Probably not.
So we even have a Twitch page now, or whatever that is.
We streamed the other night.
Yeah. Did anybody watch? No.
I don't.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look.
What's our Twitch thing?
It's twitch.tv/IamGeekShow.
Well, there you go. Come hang out.
Going there now.
Or we're going there now to play?
No.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Well, that's been episode 66.
It's been a lovely podcast, people.
But we've been playing some Destiny 2 on there. We've been playing some Black Ops 3 because it was free. I think there was a new game coming out for free called what's it called?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. That we're going to play together.
It's going to be fun.
Or one of us tries to kill the other of us.
That's like an every week episode.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's been my life growing up with you.
No. Just hugs and love. Anyways, and body slams, power bombs, suplexes.
So it doesn't look like we saved the video. We were just live. I don't know what you got to do to save them, but we'll figure it out. But I don't think people go back and watch those. I think it's mostly if you're playing, they're going to sit and watch you. So it's not a big deal. It's not saved, but it's kind of funny because my handle is Good Old Fred. So it says Good Old Fred live PS4 broadcast Destiny 2. That's all it says. So whatever. But it says I Am Geek Show at the top. So I don't know. I guess because I was playing, but on that channel. So there you go.
There you go. So since we were playing some video games or trying to play, we thought we would do this Battle Royale with cheese, a video game version. And basically, we're not going to take two characters from a video game. We're going to take two video game franchises, pit them together, and decide amongst ourselves, really.
Well, we are the definitive.
Where do you go for?
Where do you go for all your video game news and
your
events? Knowledge. I Am Geek.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. The name makes sense for that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we'll decide amongst it. We ran a poll on Twitter. We'll mention that. But ultimately, we'll just talk it out. Just like a good old-fashioned counseling session.
Hi, my name's Chris.
We'll come to conclusion.
And I am an addict. Whatever. I don't know how that goes.
Oh. It's getting real.
It's getting real up in here.
I got 12 steps to figure out this video game thing.
But before we get to that, let's. We got a couple little news. Boop, 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 boop. I need like a news that's just in type thing.
That's just in.
Maybe I'll put that in. I'll take the time.
Old time radio.
So news came out this week. So we had the Venom 2 or Venom trailer, the second trailer, not Venom 2, because the first one hasn't even come out yet. But the second trailer for Venom. Did they give you more hope for the movie?
Yeah, well, the first trailer didn't have any Venom in it.
Yeah.
And so, this was definitely better than that. I think it's the third trailer. The first trailer didn't have any Venom in it. The second one revealed his head for the most part.
So there was the teaser, then there was the first trailer, and then this is the second trailer.
Yes,
so there was
so.
Yeah, it's called a trailer. It's not a teaser.
Yeah, they're all trailers. But this one, I mean, I don't know. I want to see it. I've always been a fan of Venom, and he looks like Venom. He of course doesn't have the big spider on his chest, but they can't because there's no Spider-Man. But
you think
I don't know. It looks fun.
Well, the spider, so he doesn't have any white on his chest? I don't even remember.
There's white. There's almost like veins of white over his body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it has. So it looks nice. So it has kind of like a whitish pattern to it. I'm kind of hoping that. I know they won't, but it'd be great if they actually did tie it into the MCU. And it's like he was fired from the Daily Bugle, so he moved to San Francisco and took on a job there. So at the end, he's going to go back to New York to maybe.
Why wouldn't they do that?
On J. Jonah or something. I don't know. There could be all this legal stuff that they didn't really set up. So okay, you can use Spider-Man, but you can't have these characters. They're going to be doing a Kraven the Hunter movie. Another Spider-Man villain. They're just taking the Spider-Man villains because that's all they have right now, I guess, to really do on their own.
You think Sony would see how big the MCU is and how much it did for Spider-Man for them, and they would want to ride the coattails as much as they could. But
you would think so. At the beginning of it, all the trailers for Marvel has Marvel. This one has Marvel, but above it says in association with Marvel. So we let them kind of know that we're doing the movie.
I'm sure Disney will own Sony within 10 years or so.
Oh, probably so. They will own all. They are Borg.
They are
Resistance is futile.
Yeah, so the trailer looks good. There was, I think the best part of the trailer was actually after the trailer was over. If that makes sense.
A little nugget at the end.
Yeah, the little nugget at the end in the convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much the best part.
Yeah, that was very Venom comic book stuff. Where he talks about eating limbs and the face off, and he'll be rolling down the street like a turd in the wind. It was so ridiculous. It was great.
Somebody replaced the guy in the convenience store with Tobey Maguire crying, and it was pretty funny. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. We'll see. See how it goes. But so there's a couple other Star Wars stuff news. There was the first ship was placed in Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios, or whatever you want to call it, MGM Studios.
Did they fly it in?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did, under the cover of night. I think it's supposed to be like a food transport ship is the story behind it or something.
It's a fancy food truck.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's going to be on top of a building that's right in front of one of the rides, I think. I don't know.
How are you going to eat there if it's on a building?
It flies the food in, and then I'm sure there's a staircase, and they walk it downstairs, and you eat it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I don't know. It looks cool. It's sort of weird, like, because there's this construction everywhere, and then there's this one random cargo-looking ship. There you go.
And that's it. It's done. That's all they're doing.
That's all they're doing.
What's it going to look like?
I don't know if they have any ships in Disneyland yet. You think they would, because they're supposed to open sooner.
Yeah.
But this one was in Disney World. So, I don't know. We'll find out sometime sooner than later. And then the other Star Wars tidbit news, the Star Wars Episode 9 cast has been revealed.
Ooh.
So,
It's got all the people.
Yeah, it's got most of the same people. Yeah, Carrie Fisher will be in it. They're using unused footage from The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So, wonder what that will be. I don't know.
So then, and Mark Hamill.
And Mark Hamill's going to be in it somehow.
Is it going to be a blue?
Or maybe they'll just fix. Maybe they'll fix The Last Jedi somehow.
They're just they're gonna have the Winter Soldier guy come in and just play younger him as a Force Ghost, because that's what happens now for Force Ghosts. You retain your youth.
It'd be funny if he just pops up and they're like, "We thought you were dead," and he just says, "Oh, trapdoor." It was a trapdoor.
Trapdoor.
That rock.
That's why there was no clink.
Yeah, that's what there's a trapdoor down to my little sleeping pod.
That's how we end every day.
Yeah. And then I think the only other notable... Oh, no, Billy Dee Williams is going to be in it. As Lando Calrissian. That should be interesting.
Hello. And Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell.
Felicity's going to be in there.
Felicity is going to be in there. She's writing her thoughts on paper.
Yeah, she'll have a lot of voiceover stuff. She's not going to really talk in it. It's just going to be going to her and just voiceover. And everybody's just going to be wondering what she's like staring at. Be good.
But people want her to be Ahsoka, right?
Yeah. Yeah, people. Yeah, there's like a fan cry for her to be Ahsoka in it, which she won't be. No. But it'd be cool if she was. I mean, she'd be good Ahsoka.
I'm sure she'll be some random person that sacrifices herself randomly for no reason at all.
Everybody run! I'll stop him. But no, but you come too. It's fine. No, it's okay. I can die here. This is what I was contracted to do.
Or maybe she'll be Darth Vader. We don't know.
Could be. Ooh. What a twist!
I'm back.
Are we sure M. Night Shyamalan's not directing this now? Darth Vader's back, and this time he's your mother.
Dun dun dun.
He was once your father. Now he's your mother. It's the 2018 version.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
Perfect.
Anyways, so it's going to be released December 2019. Seems like a long ways away.
It is a long ways away.
Yeah.
You're right.
That is correct. That
but I guess Solo is this year's movie, and then that will be next year's movie. So it's weird when they put one in May and one in December. It just sort of makes it feel a lot longer.
Well, they got like 15 like Marvel movies to put out, so they gotta have some time.
Yeah. So you watched? We'll get to this battle thing in a minute. You watched last night. You watched Infinity War again, right?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
It's still just as good. Great. It's a good movie. Really good on the second viewing. Loved it the first viewing.
Did you
Good
cry?
on the second
Did you
viewing.
cry the second time?
I didn't cry. I didn't really cry the first time, but I did. But I did feel the emotion. Like it's when Spider-Man, it's that, and it's just like Mr. Stark. I'm just like, oh no,
oh no, here we go.
Because he's got a spider sense, so he feels it more than everybody else, and he can sense it coming, and then it happens. And it's just,
that scene I think was a lot longer than it was originally supposed to be.
Yes, it was improv.
Yeah.
And they did, so there was a whole thing about the Hulk, like why the Hulk wasn't coming out, and people were like, well, he's scared, he got beat and everything. Nope. Well, apparently the Russos, they came out and said, nope, you're wrong. It's that he doesn't want to be just like called out
to be the hero.
He wants to have some control basically over himself. So him and Banner will have to come to understanding for the next one, which they probably won't. Like we'll never see the Hulk again. That's it. It's
no more Hulk. Yeah. Hulk's gone. Did you see the new pictures for the next one? Avengers 4. So there's a picture with Loki. With he's got like a muffle thing on his mouth to keep him from talking, and he's being led around by Thor with long blonde hair.
That's the first movie.
Well, so they must be going back in time.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're describing the first
movie.
No,
because Thor's hair in the picture totally looks like a wig. It's like,
I'm sure it is.
That's a wig.
Well, go back and watch the first Thor movie, and his hair looks horrible in that. Like it is like I don't know, just horribly blonde, like chemically blonde. It just looks bad, and his like eyebrows are like bleached.
I'm pretty sure those are new pictures because they have those little things on their hands, those little circle things.
Mm-hmm.
And they all have those little circle things on, and Tony Stark is in all black.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, I don't know, looks like a black SWAT suit, basically.
Well, is it his like jogging suit type thing that he had in?
I don't know.
Infinity War, he like pulled the jogging strings on it, and it like shaped to his body. And then the suit.
Hold on, I'll find the pictures.
I need to know.
Talk amongst yourselves.
But yeah, no, it was good. We're gonna keep ragging on this movie. Unlike
come on. We're past that. It's over. We're done.
Are we?
Are we really?
For now.
We're never done with that. But no, it was good. I watched like the gag reel. It was really funny. There were deleted scenes in it, which were good, and I wish they had left them in the movie. At least two of them. One, Happy, is in it. It's at the beginning where you first see like Tony and Pepper walking, and then Happy pulls up a little golf cart. And he's trying to fend off all the paparazzi that are around him. It's kind of funny. And another one is with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is really good. I don't want to spoil that one. You just have to watch it. It's
all right,
funny.
so here's one of the pictures that I just pulled up. I'll show it to you guys, and then I'll explain it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Tony Stark is in. It looks like something like a SWAT team member would wear, like the vest with the, with the pockets all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a horrible picture of Loki with the thing over his face. I'm trying to find the other pictures.
Is Ant-Man time jumping?
Somebody is. Unless these are just fake pictures somehow. I don't know. Anyway, so I'll be, it's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
To say the least. I watched Ready Player One again.
Ooh.
And let me tell you. Excellent. It's I don't think it's got enough credit. It didn't get the credit that it deserved. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's one of my favorite movies now. I know I'm weird.
It was really good. I want to watch it again.
It was just.
I'm waiting for it to go on sale.
It was. It's on sale, or it was on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna buy it.
I got it for like $12.
Okay.
You can just rent it and watch it once.
No, like that's what I was just trying to say. I would go watch the movie right now. After we got done, I would watch it again. That's how much I liked it. I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's just because you get to see all that 80s and 90s and stuff. Just
it's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
It tugs on your heartstrings for everything you grew up with.
See, I don't watch movies over and over again. I've realized, like, I've bought all these DVDs, and there are very few. Now, I would watch That Thing You Do, or Spinal Tap, or Office Space. There's several Pee-wee's Big Adventure I would watch over and over again. But nowadays, it's like, I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, but I watch once, and it's like I don't have a need to have all these DVDs in my house or downloaded. I don't know.
We had a guest visiting us last week, and she was one of our students at a thing we worked in. And I kept saying movie quotes, and she'd be like, "What's that from?" And I'm like, "You haven't seen that?" So she hadn't seen Star Wars. She hadn't seen Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones.
Kids these days.
All of them, only a couple Marvel movies, none of the cool 80s movies. And I said, you want to watch a movie? She's like, yeah, let's watch a movie. And every time she visits, I try to introduce her to good movies. And I'm like, you want to watch, I got all these movies here. You want to watch one? She goes, those are all old. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? She's like, well, old movies aren't any good. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the best movies were made in the 80s, okay? Let's just get that. Let's just lay that out there. She's like, no. I said, what kind of movies do you like? She goes, I only like really comedies or rom-coms. That's really the only thing I like. And this call started because the night before we watched another movie. We watched Murder on the Orient Express, but the new one. She said, I don't know if I want to watch this because it's like based in old-timey.
Based in old-timey.
So we watched it, and she's like, that was really good.
Spoken by a true millennial.
Which I really liked it. Yeah, I really liked the new Murder on the Orient Express.
It is good.
Yeah,
I like
really
it.
Good. Yeah. So we watched that. So the next night, or a couple nights later or something, I was like, so you like comedies? And you like the mystery thing the other night? She's like, yeah, that's good. I was like, okay, I've got the movie we're going to watch. I'm like, it's made in like 1985. So it's an old movie, I think it was
ancient.
Before you were born.
Yeah, I think it was 85. I have to go back and look.
Did they even have TVs then?
Yeah. I was like, we're watching Clue, and she goes, "You mean like the board game?" I'm like, exactly like the board game. And I go, "Have you ever played the board game?" And she said, "No." I'm like, "We're watching Clue." So I got the DVD out because I had the DVD. That's another movie one of the movies I'd watch over and over again. It just cracks me up.
Yeah,
we got that on iTunes. It's really good.
So she's like, I don't know. So we watched it, and I'm like, okay, what'd you think? She goes, that was so good. I'm like, see? Old movies are good.
I guess if once my son is older, maybe things will be different. Because it's like right now, of course, he does watch. He loves Indiana Jones now because we play it on Xbox, the Lego Indiana Jones. So he's all into that. But we watched the movie and he got kind of bored. The language wasn't really what I expected. I was like, oh man, I forgot they said all that. But he liked it, I think. And then he's really into Pirates of the Caribbean. We haven't really watched the movie because it's a little dark at times, But it's I guess there is some value to that. I just. Right now, it's like I'm not up late watching movies, so it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I guess I can see the value.
I love introducing movies to people that haven't seen it. And my son, when he gets older, that's just going to be so much fun. To show him all these movies and stuff.
Oh yeah,
all these movies of the 80s, these old timey ones.
Find something to play those movies on though. You need to get them digital, and because it won't be.
Well, I mean,
we got them all digital. That's all we do anymore.
Well, yeah, I've started doing that, but all those old ones I've got, on disc. But my PS4.
Oh, I know. I'm just,
plays them,
but by the time he's older, it's like, let me go find the DVD player.
Yeah. You're like, what's this?
Plug into the brain machine and watch it in your mind.
He already knows the Blu-ray player. He'll just go grab a Blu-ray, open it up, and pop it in. He's like, well, what's this? I'm like, really? You're 3 years old? Come on. So we got off on a big tangent. I'm sorry. We're already like 25 minutes into this.
But no, not enough time for.
No, we can still do it. But I loved Ready Player One. I loved it. Mm-hmm. Somebody gave me a hard time on Facebook for loving it so much, and I said, you know what? Forget you.
That's gorgeous. I'm just
kidding. Anyways, it was so stinking good. So that leads us into video games. I mean, that's a big video game. Basically,
that's all it is.
All it is. You think we'll get there one day where it'll be like that? Virtual reality?
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe, probably.
After the big fast food war, and Taco Bell is the only fast food place left.
It's gonna happen.
That far into the future.
Probably will happen. Man, fast food restaurants. Of course, I've not been to McDonald's or Taco Bell in a while, but I went to Wendy's yesterday, and this is terrible. I was like, this is really. I haven't had it in a long time, and I was like, this is not as good as I remember it being. Like, it wasn't a juicy hamburger like I remember it being. I was pretty disappointed. Could have been a bad Wendy's, so I won't hold.
Never know.
Tonight's episode sponsored by Wendy's, the Fresh Maker.
The Fresh Maker. Not it.
No, still not right.
Still not right. Okay, I'll work on that.
That's Arby's. We have the meats.
Yeah,
my son will say that every once in a while. It's like, Arby's, we have the meats.
Wendy's I think Wendy's, we're better than you. I'm pretty sure that's, or maybe that's just their Twitter account. I don't know.
Wendy's, that was my daughter.
What is
that?
Wendy's?
Was my daughter.
Now I have to know.
Wendy's and Moon Pie. If you're not following funny things on Twitter, follow those two, and you'll get some good laughs.
What? And please, somebody tell us what the Wendy's phrase or whatever catchphrase is. I don't know what it is.
Fresh Maker.
Fresh Maker. I think
fresh. Eat Subway. We'll look it up.
You look it up. We'll continue on. Okay, so tonight we should do one of these battle royales with fast food restaurants.
There we go.
But tonight we are doing two. We decided to start with the fighting games. We're doing probably the two most famous fighting games.
Mm-hmm. Start it all.
All time. I don't know what button I just pressed.
The soundboard going.
That is not what I thought it was. Hold on.
What? Hong Kong Fooey?
Yeah, that's what I.
Hong Kong Fooey.
Now I have to edit that out. I thought it was going to yell Mortal Kombat like this. But it didn't. So we're doing Mortal Kombat versus. Or you got it?
Real quick. As of 2016, I don't know if this is still the current. It's deliciously different. I don't think that's
what
can't be it. But anyway, sorry.
There was the Where's the Beef? That was
that was an 80s. Right?
Where's the beef?
Deliciously different is their little tagline on their sign. I think it used to be old-fashioned hamburgers, and they always had the cool tables with the things on the newspaper-looking thing on the table, right?
So Mortal Kombat versus Wendy's tonight. No, I don't have a sound clip, but this is the closest thing I have for the next game would be that's all I got. Anyways, Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. The age-old question, who is better? Which game reigns supreme? Tonight you will find out on I Am Geek.
Take it to the bank, folks.
We're doing the whole franchise of each of them, not just
not just one game, not just one character, but how do they stack up together over time? We had a poll on Twitter. Beeps coming in. Anyways, poll on Twitter. Pretty much on Twitter, most people voted for. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Mortal Kombat.
Oh, well, we're done then.
I think we're done. But
the people have decided.
I don't know. I think you got to dive into it. I think that was a gut reaction. I think we got to break it down here.
We have to.
Oh, of course. We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't.
We do it so you don't have to.
You don't, and you don't have to make silly decisions.
Mm-hmm. We do it for
That's why we're here. I mean, you would have gone to Wendy's if we hadn't said something about Wendy's. Or you'll probably go to Wendy's now because we said something about Wendy's.
Now you go to Arby's.
We had our own little Chun-Li laugh track tonight, too.
Yeah. Really creepy if you take it out of context.
And that's actually just Ryan laughing. That's not a sound clip.
I'm going to have too much fun with all this. And everybody's turned off. Okay, so anyways, so I think we just start from the beginning and sort of give a synopsis over the two games. Street Fighter started back before Mortal Kombat. It was in 1987. The first game in the series was released, but it was not the most popular. It wasn't the game that gave it the popularity.
No one really remembers the first one exactly. Yeah. Everybody always remembers the second one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I've ever played it, and I don't even know. I mean, it's like when I played the second one, I was like, I guess there's not a first.
Yeah,
like, that's it.
I think I remember playing the first one like in an actual arcade.
That's I think that's pretty much where you would have played it.
Yeah.
Well, it was released on a console, or maybe two.
It was released
like on
in
Super
1988
Nintendo.
On the TurboGrafx CD console.
That's okay.
And under the name Fighting Street.
Oh. That in that case, no.
And then Street Fighter was also later included in the Capcom Classic Collection, remixed for PlayStation Portable and for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. So it was included in those collections. But, I mean, originally it was just in the arcades until the TurboGrafx, which everybody had. You know, you weren't cool unless you had the TurboGrafx CD console.
We had two.
One for the bathroom.
Yeah. You know us too well. So it wasn't until 1991 that really the popularity of Street Fighter actually occurred, which was with Street Fighter 2. And like you said, most people said, I guess there just wasn't a Street Fighter 1. It's just the title of the game. And so Street Fighter 2, The World Warrior, was released in 1991 and was the first true sequel to the original Street Fighter. So I think there was other games that tried to call itself sequels to Street Fighter, but not really. So there was like a Final Fight game and some other games.
Oh, man, so many. Yeah.
So many.
You know, and what's crazy about Street Fighter, and we'll probably talk about this, the second one, is there are so many editions, right? They had the Championship Edition or Tournament Edition, the Turbo Edition or something?
Yeah, Turbo.
Basically
Turbo
between
2.
1991 and 1994, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 renditions of Street Fighter 2.
Wow.
That's crazy.
The Championship Edition, the Turbo Hyper Fighting Edition, the New Challengers Edition, and the Turbo Edition.
I mean, it was very, very popular, so why not? But why not make a 3, you know? But I guess
they did.
Oh, no, I know.
Like, but yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's still going, right? But I mean, it's weird that they just kept it because it was the same game, right? I don't remember what the difference.
It added some.
I mean, it had to have been different.
Little bits and pieces to it.
I mean, I guess that's why they didn't do a 3 because it was basically the same game. They just may have made it look better or made it faster or made it the way you can play it different. You know, with
the Turbo had like a turbo setting on it or something.
Yeah.
You played faster.
I had the Turbo one. Oh, no, that was a different one. Actually, they redid it again in 2008. That's the one I was going to say. Had fully redrawn artwork, including HD stuff and blah 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 blah. So basically, after Street Fighter 2, all those editions, then they went to Street Fighter Alpha, and then Street Fighter Alpha 2, and then Street Fighter EX, and then X-Men versus Street Fighter, and then they made it to Street Fighter 3 in 1997. So crazy. Which is I vaguely remember the Street Fighter versus X-Men.
Yes.
So that
I remember that.
That came out before the whole
Capcom, yeah.
Versus
Marvel or whatever.
Yeah. Marvel. So it's pretty cool. So are we including those games in this debate?
The Capcom stuff, like the Capcom versus, I don't think you can include the Capcom versus Marvel. I think
why not?
That's true.
You can include
because there's other things in Capcom. Right?
Yeah, you can include Street Fighter versus X-Men.
Yeah.
But because and we can get into this later too, Mortal Kombat has a bunch of secret players from different.
Well, see, Mortal Kombat has the DC. Basically, Mortal Kombat has DC, which we'll get into later, and Street Fighter, Capcom has Marvel.
Yes.
So you get into this Marvel versus DC debate within Street Fighter versus.
There are levels to this.
Mortal Kombat. We're going to be here all night. This is going to be a 16-part episode. Not really. Nope.
Nope.
Anyway, so. And then there's the Japanese versions and the English versions, and different characters took on different names in the versions. So you had like the boxer character that was added was basically based on Mike Tyson, but they kept changing his name up so they wouldn't get sued. So in some places he was Balrog, and then some places he was Vega, which Vega became a different character.
Yeah,
yeah.
So there's all kinds of interesting history behind this video game. But so there's all you want to get into the characters, or do you want to get more of the backstory of all this?
We can do characters, and if you want to, who is your favorite character to play with?
Yeah.
Did you get that? Hold on.
That was E Honda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we played at Comic Con or what at Comic Palooza, that's who you were, and you cheated the whole time.
I didn't cheat. I used his moves, and I beat you fair and square.
That's true. He did, and then I came in with Chun-Li and beat him.
But I beat you too.
Both of those characters had the long, extended, fast move or whatever.
Yes.
Chun-Li had the kick, and E Honda had the punch.
It's hard to get past those.
It's very hard.
But yeah, I always. So E Honda, that's your
E Honda, and then also I like this guy. You know who that is?
Zangief?
Zangief.
Yeah.
I like Zangief because he was a wrestler, so he did all the cool wrestling moves. So those are my two go-tos, E Honda and Zangief.
Nice. I always kind of like they weren't always necessarily the best players to play, but he was good. I liked Dawson because he had the long stretching, so you could attack from across the screen.
You could fly, kind of. Yeah, like
yeah, you kind of fly and stuff.
Yeah,
and he was just kind of cool looking too.
Yeah,
like in the later games, I don't know. I think they lost something. He doesn't look as cool anymore. I think he looked his best in the original games. Just I don't know. He was cool. Yeah, he could do fire and everything. And then Vega, always like kind of fast characters.
Yeah,
to play with.
Neat. Yeah,
like Chun-Li's fast and she's cool. Vega was, basically Vega had a weapon on him, so really, like one punch from him, you should have been down.
if this were real life.
There's a whole skit online. I forget the comedian that does it, but it's like they're interviewing people for the Street Fighter tournament. And this guy that plays Vega comes in. He's got his big claw. He's like, "What do you do with that? You can't fight people with that. You're gonna kill somebody." But use my claw. I fight with my claw. It's really funny. You gotta watch it. Find it on there. On the YouTubes. It's really funny. Mm-hmm. But those are my kind of fun characters. I always like the really fast characters. I never really like. I mean, Ryu and Ken are the same character. But a lot of people like to play with them. But I don't know. I just never really got into them as well. Their moves were kind of harder for me to do, I think. Yeah. But what was it? Blanca. Blanca was always fun too. Yeah,
Blanca.
Because you just sit there and just keep electrifying yourself, and then people can't attack you.
Yeah.
All right,
Guile.
Guile. Oh, yeah. He was always cool looking, but his moves for me, I don't know. I can never do that.
Yeah.
Sonic boom. Okay, so there are more than 80 characters in this game. Over the series, there's more than 80 different players that you can play as. I didn't even count them all. There's way more than that. There's probably 90 or maybe even 100. I didn't even count all of them. But such memorable characters as Mike, and Nash, and Seth. Remember Seth?
Sean. Oh, and there's Sean.
And 12.
Good old Sean.
Rufus. Good old Rufus. I don't remember any of these.
No.
Oh, I'm looking through them too, and I don't know. Abigail, Ed.
There's a bunch of them I remember. I watched a video earlier on Ryu and Evil Ryu, basically where he turns evil and he could basically destroy people's souls. I'm like, good gracious. Look at that.
That's nice.
Abigail, Abel. Yeah. I'm Abigail from Canada. And I like it how the cool thing about Street Fighter, they're from someplace. So so in the game you're it shows a map and it shows you flying to different parts of the world to fight these different people. So you go to Canada and you fight Abigail. I don't know who that is.
Karen. Karen.
So there's a total list of all even the movie game that they did make a movie, Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I wish they hadn't made that movie. Now the animation ones are pretty cool, but the live action movie with Jean-Claude.
It was terrible. It's there's just they kept getting notes from the company to add in more characters, and the director was just having to throw people in there.
Yeah.
And apparently Jean-Claude Van Damme was just on something the whole time he was doing it.
That's good.
And he was supposed to be a typical American army guy or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
And he has this accent. He's not even trying to do an American accent in it. But hey, it had pop star in it.
Kesha.
No, not Kesha.
No. Way before Kesha's time.
Not Kesha. Not Kesha. Trying to remember her name. I can't think of her name now.
Obviously, doesn't really matter. No one remembers her.
It starts with a K.
Kesha.
Kylie Minogue.
Oh.
Kylie Minogue. She's in it.
Oh, I don't even know who that is. So.
She's got kind of fun, kind of pop music stuff. She was big in England and stuff like that.
Ah, I see.
That was her first big movie. Her character. They didn't. Apparently, I think if I remember this right, they didn't have anybody hired to play her character. And on a plane flight, the director saw a picture of her on a cover of a magazine. And he's like, "Okay, get her."
There you go.
And that was how she got the part. Pretty sure.
What is that character? Cammy or Gammy? What is her name?
Cammy, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a popular cosplay.
Gammy. Hi, it's me. I'm Gammies. I got some gams.
I can't read
look
on the
at her
screen.
outfit, then
Yeah.
Makes sense. Cammy.
Cammy,
but yeah, that's a very popular cosplay.
Because I saw a video. I was like, I saw that person at Comic-Con. I was like, oh well, that's probably just the same costume, and they just happen to look very similar, but it looked like the same person.
It's just a leotard. I mean,
I know. Yeah,
it's in a
about it.
So, do you have any favorite levels that you'd like? Levels you would play? Like when you could choose your level or your background.
Levels, I mean, they were. I don't know. They weren't as big. Like it was just kind of backgrounds, backdrop.
Yeah, that's all they were on the side screen.
There was like a bathhouse.
Does E Honda? Yeah, that's the first one I thought of. Yeah.
Japan. And there was like a dock you could fight on.
What was the dock?
I think Dawson was probably one of the best ones.
I think USA had the airplane, the jet behind him.
Yeah, the Guile.
And then for some reason, in between matches, you would like beat up on a car.
Yeah.
A car or something else.
Yeah, something I never understood that.
The China level.
China.
Did it have the weird guy in the background doing something with a chicken?
Maybe.
All right.
Somebody look that up.
You might not want to.
Did it have something with the chicken weird in the background?
Guy in the background doing something weird with the chicken.
Was he wringing its neck or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Slinging it around like he was trying to kill it or something. Could have been.
Lovey, now I want to
choking
know.
It.
I'm probably just being very offensive.
Wringing the neck. You don't want to
wringing the neck.
No,
I've had to ducks before.
Not choking.
Y'all have heard my wrestling story, right? Well, one of the first times I went duck hunting.
Yeah.
And the duck would not die, and it
horrible.
I had to kind of you're supposed to take it and just kind of sling it around so you'll break its neck, and I swung it around a little too many times, and the body flew, and the head was still in my hand. So, I know all about wringing a neck.
That was Catron in the back of the game. That's
right.
Okay. I'm totally wrong. For this picture, anyways, there's a chicken in a cage and it's like fluttering and flapping around.
Yeah, that's.
But there's a man beside the cage.
Okay.
I don't know. I just thought there was something weird. Of course, there's Chun-Li with her weirdly proportioned legs. That always reminded me of like horse legs or something.
She's a biker. She takes a bike everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
Bicycle?
Yeah, bicycle. Yeah. You should. Look at these like bicyclists. That's all they do. Look at their legs. They're giant.
Yeah.
So
there's one fighter with a basketball. I don't know who that is. I just see a picture of a guy in a karate gi and outfit, whatever, and he's got a basketball in one hand, like a Harlem Globetrotters basketball. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. That may have been like fan art or something. Who knows? It may not even be real. Who knows? That's weird.
The newest one that's out has a new character or a character. I don't know if he's new, called Cody, and he looks like I don't know if this is like they made a deal with him or not, but he looks like Cody Rhodes from wrestling.
Could be.
I don't know if he actually
Rufus.
made a deal. Maybe they just call him Cody.
Rufus looks like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Does he? Yeah, because I saw the Cody guy. There's this. The New Day is a wrestling group in the WWE, and then there's the Elite, which is a wrestling group in New Japan and some other stuff, organizations, and they came together. I think E3, and they had a Street Fighter battle, and they battled each other in Street Fighter. And Cody was the big. He's using Cody. I can't believe he's using Cody. Nobody's used him before. So it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool video game battle. You can probably find it on YouTube.
So I found an image of Street Fighter 4 with all the characters, and it has Vega as the guy at the end. What's with the red outfit? What was his name before?
Bison?
Yeah, M. Bison. And then they have Balrog is who we were talking about as Vega, and then the boxing guy's name is Dudley.
What the heck?
It's like, this can't be right. Surely not. And then Seth is probably the big boss guy.
Is that the English version or the Japanese version?
I don't know. It's just a picture. I'm looking at images, so who knows? I mean, maybe somebody's. It's the internet, man. Can't trust it.
So anyway, all the way up to 2018, we have Street Fighter games: Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, and Fighting EX Layer is all from this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then of course we have the Marvel vs. Capcom games, where a bunch of the players are in that, which is one of my favorite games.
I don't know if we can include it in this stuff.
I know, but it's just one of my favorite games.
It's just making a statement, Chris.
I'm just making a statement.
Back off.
Come on.
Sorry. Excuse me.
But again, the fighting styles of each character, I mean, would I be correct in saying pretty much they all had their own fighting style?
Pretty much. I mean Ken,
Ryu,
Ryu,
whatever you say. They're pretty much the same. They just,
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much each person had their own sort of fighting style, mystique.
Yeah, and except for those two, everybody looked like unique.
Yeah,
like they all looked individual, which is cool. They all had really cool designs. So yeah, I really loved the design of the characters in that. It was.
I feel like you're leading up to something.
What?
Make a statement about Mortal Kombat, but I'll just leave
that. Just leave it there for now. We're talking about.
We're just talking Street Fighter, man.
Street Fighter, man.
Come on. Nothing else going on.
It's good. They're well designed characters.
5 of the characters look all the same. Fighting styles are not all the same.
Anyways, and I like the animation of it, the style.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about.
The graphics are nice, and they've progressed well throughout the years.
Yes.
Where they look great now. The game looks well put together. It's just a nice game, just design wise and everything. The backgrounds, yeah, like you said, have always been kind of fun. There's like little things you can kind of spot in them. Kind of funny. Yeah.
So real quick, thinking about like I was going to say this is the granddaddy of them all, right? But really, it's not, because I mean it probably made everything better. Probably the first game that I can think of is remember that Karate Champ game? You had the 2 joysticks and you could do these moves. There's probably something before that, even just regular boxing games. But that game was interesting in the arcade. But
yeah, this is the sort of the first of this kind of style, basically. The Karate Champ is different.
It's a fighting game, and it's here.
The first game to feature fist fighting was Heavyweight Champ in 1976, but there was Karate Champ popularized the one-on-one martial arts game in arcades in '84.
Yeah, but nobody remembers those.
Everybody remembers Street Fighter.
So Street Fighter, I think to date, I could be wrong, probably wrong. This is not to date. Never mind. It sold over 400 million software units, over 500,000 arcade hardware units. One of the highest grossing video game franchises was Street Fighter 2, estimated to have grossed over $10 billion in revenue. Street Fighter remained Capcom's second biggest franchise behind Resident Evil as of 2014, and is currently Capcom's third best-selling software franchise behind Resident Evil and Monster Hunter. That's surprising about Monster Hunter, then Monster Hunter would be ahead of.
It's a popular game.
Of Street Fighter.
A lot of people play that.
I've never played that game. So yeah, over $10 billion in revenue.
Which is amazing because a lot of people probably didn't buy that game. I mean, I never owned a Street Fighter game. I've only played it in the arcade, you know. And maybe I'm just weird, but I mean, even Mortal Kombat, I think I was afraid to buy it because it was so gory and everything, right? But, I mean, even those, it's like because arcades were there were arcades around. There's not really any around now as much, but that was the thing to do when I was growing up, to go to the arcade and play those games and play with other people because you couldn't play online back then, right? So playing by yourself, with the computer and that, but.
We had Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had anything after that.
I think
we may have had Turbo.
I think we had the Turbo one.
Okay. Yeah, we may have had Turbo.
And then, so we had the Turbo one, I'm pretty sure. I went to a bunch of arcades, but well, not a bunch. I went to some. I don't remember playing many in arcades because I don't think I ever had quarters. I think it was just I would go and watch other people play.
I spent a lot of money. Every time I'd get my allowance, I would go and they drop me off and I would go play the wrestling games and the fighting games. That was about it.
I played the fighting games and I played like Ninja Turtles and X-Men.
Yeah. Because I remember when the first time we went to Disney Quest, which moment of silence for Disney Quest, no longer with us. I remember thinking, this is great. I could play all these games for free. I mean, we paid for a ticket, but like I could just go play anything I want to. It's amazing because I didn't have to, just sit and watch people play.
They have arcades now. They're kind of like adult arcades where they have a bar, and you pay like $20 or something like that. And they have all the games, and you just go around and play as much as you want. I've been to one of those, and it's fun.
Much as you want to pay for it, because at least the ones I'm thinking of, like we have Dave & Buster's here, we have Main Event, and we have Incredible Pizza, and they have those, and it's like you get this card, and a game may cost like 125 points. It's like why is that? Why can't it be 50 cents?
They have that, but there's actual just arcades.
Like old school arcades.
Where you pay flat rate and you play as much as you want.
We have one of those,
It's like Disney Quest, but...
We have a place called Rec Room, but I've never been. They have consoles there, too. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's made a lot of money.
It has.
I would say. And it doesn't seem to be slowing down. They keep putting them out. So anything else for...
Did we mention the story you said you were going to... Is it worth talking about?
The story? I mean, you're traveling to different countries for
a tournament.
It's basically a tournament. Like in the movie, it was not a tournament. It was M. Bison trying to take over the world.
Does the movie really count though?
And poor Raul Julia. Oh, that was his last movie.
Oh.
Bison.
Well, let's bring it down.
Sorry. He was a good actor. I liked him.
There you go.
But
he had a fake eyeball, I think.
Well, no, he didn't have a fake eye. There's a
story. It just popped out.
Yeah, I heard him tell it on David Letterman. He was at dinner and he was eating, and like he rubbed his eye, and his eyeball just like popped out. It was just dangling there. And he didn't know what to do. So he grabbed a spoon and like used it to pull like his lid down. Oh, God. And then just like popped it back in.
Yikes.
I'll never forget that story.
Yeah.
So crazy. Like, and anytime I rub my eye, like I still kind of think
it
might be careful.
Might pop out. So not only have they had video games, but they've had comics, they've had cards, they've had manga, right? Board games, just about everything. They've been in Wreck-It Ralph. They were in there. Oh yeah. So
Were
that
they in Ready Player One?
Yes, they're in Ready Player One.
Sure they were. Yeah, have to be.
The main character uses the Hadouken in the last battle scene.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess that
that sums up.
So now let's move on to
Tonya. Johnny Cage. Sub-Zero.
So Mortal Kombat was created in 1992, so a few years after Street Fighter series, by Midway, which went bankrupt, which was bought by Warner Brothers and turned it into NetherRealm Studios.
Nether regions.
Yeah, the Nether regions.
Nether regions Studios.
And the franchise was rebooted in 2011, but we'll go back to the beginnings. Mortal Kombat was the adult version, I guess you would call it that, of fighting games.
Very controversial.
They are the reason that we have the
extreme version of fighting games.
They're the reason that we have the rating system now. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Probably
so.
I had it here somewhere. Where'd it go?
Yeah, that was the thing. You could go in and turn the blood on and off.
Yeah, the fatalities, which there's fatalities in the game at the end of the match, in part led to the creation of the ESRB video game rating system.
There you go.
Yeah, the series itself.
The whole thing.
A little bit of history for you, folks.
Yep. So they side scroller, pretty much side view. But their graphics were trying to look more.
Well, they were Street Fighter was like all drawn.
Yeah, this was like not.
This one it was pictures. It was captured. They had people, and really it was like one guy like playing most of the characters.
Yeah.
Just in different costumes, and some of those costumes were just color changed after the fact. And then like one girl with like different outfits and different hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just kind of not necessarily like you can kind of think of it like as a precursor to motion capture almost. Where they just like took pictures of their poses and then worked them together to make the moves.
Yeah, and then so this is where we get the money stuff out of the way. As of June 2000, which was a long time ago, this is what I have here. They generated $5 billion in revenue.
Oh,
yeah. So it's known for its reputation for high levels of bloody violence, including most notably its fatalities or finishing moves, requiring a sequence of buttons input to perform it, which I could never do.
I had one
or
two that I could do.
I could do a few, and like I've played like Mortal Kombat XL a lot recently, and I could do some of them. The moves for Street Fighter for me are always harder to do than the moves in Mortal Kombat. The moves in Mortal Kombat were easier for me to pull off. I don't know what it was about it. It was just they weren't as complicated.
Well,
the
first two of the games were played in the arcades with a joystick and had 5 buttons: high punch, low punch, high kick, low kick, and block.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mortal Kombat 3 introduced the run button. Basically, the characters in the early versions of Mortal Kombat were virtually identical to one another, with only major difference being the special moves. So everything else, kick, punch, everything was the same.
Yeah, because it was just the same person doing them.
Yeah. So maybe that was why it was easier for you to do the moves, because they were all the same.
Yeah, there we go.
Pretty much. But I think what Mortal Kombat tried to do was do the bloody, gory, comical side of it to sort of get people to draw people in, which we had. I mean, I don't know why our parents let me have this, but I had Mortal Kombat. I had Mortal Kombat 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure I had Mortal Kombat 3.
And we own quite a few of that one.
Quite a few of that one. Mortal Kombat 3. Yeah. We had like
we kept losing.
10 of them.
Quite a few of 3. We played it so much it just would break.
Was it on Mortal Kombat, the first one, and the second one on Super Nintendo?
I believe so. Yeah. We had the first 2 on Super NES.
So they, I mean, I've played a lot of them.
I remember 3 being the more popular one. 2 and 3, I guess, but 3 we really played a lot of in college. But 3 had they introduced some really different kind of characters, or tried to. Maybe just new characters. I don't know if they were that different, because again, they all still look the same with the same fighting style like that. That you think of Scorpion's costume, and there were like 3 or 4 different people with that same costume, right?
More than 3 or 4. There were a lot with that same costume.
Yeah.
So 1 through 3, apparently that one was it was a lot of the same costume, same person doing it. But 4 is when they started to kind of vary them up a bit more.
Well, that's good.
Give them more individuality. And 4 is Toasty 3D.
What?
Yeah, in the first ones, like, they would say Toasty, but in 4 they would say Toasty 3D because it was in 3D, I guess.
Okay. Well, there you go. So they started at I forget which one. This is my fault, listeners. I didn't do enough research. Where you could
Certainly
play,
not my fault.
Where you could play as Goro. Goro was a 4-armed creature. And this one had the gameplay of this one, it wasn't you're going around the world. Basically, it looked like a ladder tournament. Basically, the game would start and it would like flash all the characters from like top to bottom, and then you would go up the ladder, move up the ladder.
Yeah. So basically, Mortal Kombat, every century or something, there's this tournament from like our reality, Earth, and another place called Outworld, and we would all we would gather our champions to fight their champions, and if we didn't win, then Outworld would come into our Earth and kind of take it over. Yeah. So we had to win in order to like save Earth, basically.
Yeah. And Mortal Kombat has had its fair share of special guest characters that you could open up, or you could pay to open up, or
yes,
yeah. So it has Xenomorph from Alien, Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. I about said Nightmare Before Christmas. That'd have been a different kind of movie. Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Kratos from God of War, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and of course Predator from Predator.
Predator,
and then they had the DC Universe heroes and villains.
Yeah, I really enjoy playing as a Xenomorph and Jason Voorhees. Those 2 characters in the newer one, XL, they're fun characters. Xenomorph is crazy. He's got a long tail that you can just attack from across the screen. And Jason Voorhees, like, he's got, so in that there's like different powers that you can select to play with, and one of Jason Voorhees' powers is, even though you kill him, like you take him down, there's like lightning will strike him and he'll pop back up with a little bit of health. So he comes back to life so he can fight you a little bit more. And then you can maybe beat whoever you're at, because I've done that before. They thought they got me and I popped back up and then took them down. Kind of funny.
So the most notable characters are probably Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That's the ones that are most known.
Those are 2.
Which pretty fun. I mean,
get over here.
Scorpion is the all-around.
Did you even press the button?
I didn't even press the button. Hold on. Where'd it go?
Get over here.
Scorpion is like the E Honda of this game, where you just did the get over here over and over again.
You roll your eyes.
You couldn't get away from it, and you're just like, stop it.
And the big thing about this game was the uppercut. That was sort of the move. In this game. You get it. You always uppercut him or sweep the leg. Uppercut, sweep the leg. That's the two moves that everybody would use.
Yeah, it was. I think I liked it so much because it was very easy to game and to do. It was a faster gameplay, right? Because it seems like you really had to be kind of skilled, and timing had to be just right in Street Fighter. But in Mortal Kombat, it's kind of a button masher, and then if you knew the secrets, you could take people out pretty easily and frustrate people. At Comic Palooza, I played, and this guy was just like standing there waiting for his friend. He's looking around, and I was like, "I'll play with you. You mind?" And he's younger than me, but and he's like, "Yeah, I don't remember the moves." I said, and I was like, I don't remember either, and I don't remember who I picked, but I jumped in and I don't feel like I was playing that well, but I beat him every time, and I left. I was like, I'm sorry, man, I'll let you have it. I felt so bad because I didn't want him to have a poor experience. But
are you saying that Mortal Kombat is more of a button masher versus Street Fighter is more of technique?
I think so. I think you could get away with a little bit of just button mashing and cheap gameplay.
That might be a little bit more opposite for me because, like I said, I had more trouble performing the moves in Street Fighter than I did in Mortal Kombat for some reason. Because the moves in Street Fighter always seemed a little bit more complicated.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying though. It's like in Mortal Kombat, you can get away with a whole lot more. I feel like it was easier to do the moves. It was easier to do. It was a little bit faster gameplay in some ways, and it wasn't so much skill. Except some of the moves were hard. Like the fatalities, and all that stuff.
Up until the fatalities, which we'll get to the other types of fatalities here in a second. It was sweep the leg, punch him, uppercut, and it was just that over and over again.
Yeah,
you could get by with that.
Yeah, in the more recent games, they've varied it up more.
I'm sure
to where they all have individual moves and even like power sets and stuff like that, which is cool. And they also have like these, like you build up like a power, like an energy thing or whatever, and then you can perform that. And really, like, the person shouldn't survive after you do this because they're like cracking bones, and it'll go to an X-ray version of the person, and you'll see like a skull crack and like things like being pierced through people, and you're like, okay, the game's over, and then like, nope, you get back up and you start fighting again.
Yeah, it's just like those Capcom versus games. It's like you're shooting these guns and just drilling somebody with all these hits. And I mean, that's what's cool though about those games. Real quick, just you can't just do them all the time. You have to build them up, and it has all these cool looking effects and things like that. Yeah. Whereas in the other games, you just do them, and as long as you knew how to do it and you could do it well, you could do them. So
So favorite characters.
Favorite character?
I don't remember.
Sub-Zero was always fun. I mean, he's a classic. And like just like freezing the person and then like kicking them and breaking them down and stuff like that. Scorpion, like we talked about, was
those are two big ones.
In the newer game,
Liu Kang is
like there's a bunch of kind of fun characters. Like I said, I really like playing with like the Xenomorph and Jason.
All right, so my favorite character will be one that nobody knows probably. I think he was in Mortal Kombat 3 was his first appearance. Remember Cyrax?
Yes.
He was like a
robot.
I was going to say, is that the robot? That's what Greg Jones would play as all the time because he had that bomb or whatever, didn't he?
There was two robots. There was the Cyrax, who's the yellow one that looked like basically a robot scorpion, and then there was a red one named Sector or something like that.
Yeah, and in the new game, they've combined those with like a third one, and it's like the same character.
But
you can choose the different versions.
He was fun to play with. I don't think any other ones.
So Liu Kang, I think I used him a lot, and gosh, what was that one guy? Cage? No, not Johnny Cage. What was it?
Kung Lao, Raiden.
Raiden, that's who I played with at Comic Palooza, and I don't remember playing with that much, but I knew all the moves. I was like, I guess I did use this guy.
Oh, I forgot about this dude. He was one of my favorites. Nightwolf. Remember Nightwolf?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Katana was pretty cool if you knew how to do her moves. Like, she was pretty lethal.
Yeah, the Katana and the other one, like her evil sister.
Yeah.
Were both good because they were quick characters. Like
Right.
you can really get around the screen pretty quick with them.
So out of
Nice.
as of 2012, which is more now, by now there were 64 characters.
Yeah. Kung Lao was good.
Wow, yeah.
He had the hat, right? Through the hat.
He had the hat.
Yeah, that's what I was
you
thinking
can kind
of.
of throw and
Kung
stuff.
Lao.
He was fun.
What was the guy with the metal face, or like not metal face, but had
I know what you're talking about.
Australian or something?
Well, that was in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kano.
Kano, yeah.
Yeah, I liked him too.
It was fun.
Goro was terrible in the movie, by the way, but we'll talk about the movie.
So then there was the weird characters like Noob Sabat and Ermac and just random. We have this cool
Ermac's
suit.
good.
Like it was good, but they were like creators or developers or something that basically flipped their names backwards and became a character in the game.
That's right.
Then they would have the thing with like secret characters.
Yeah.
That you could fight. Like Reptile in the first game was like you'd have to perform something in one level or whatever, and then you could fight him, which is kind of cool. They have like a little bunch of Easter eggs like that throughout their game.
And I think that's what sort of sets Mortal Kombat apart from maybe Street Fighter, is that there is like all this stuff for back then that you could find and you could do, and then of course at the end they had not only fatalities, but then they would have babalities, which you turn them into babies. Yeah. And then you had animalities, where you turn into an animal.
And a lot of this stuff, especially like with the first game back then, there was no like internet. Like you couldn't go online and like find this stuff out. It was all word of mouth. Like you would like be talking to people at school that played
that stuff out,
and like people, and it just kind of went from person to person. Like, so it was almost like a myth. Like, I don't know, I don't think this is true. There's no way this can happen.
There was magazines you could get. You get magazines.
I was going to say, was it in Nintendo Power?
Eventually, there were some magazines that they would eventually kind of show it, but.
Speaking of magazines, one of the greatest memories I have, and I've just thought about this, is getting a Nintendo Power subscription, because that was one of the highlights of however often it came. I was like, hey, the new one came, and it's like I didn't have every game there was or anything, but it's like you could look at it and be like, this game looks like it would be fun to play, and then it gives you all these secrets and there's contests in there, because I remember submitting a thing for a Game Boy, and you could design a skin basically for a Game Boy, and if yours got picked, you could win that Game Boy. And I made a camouflage one. It was probably terrible, and it didn't win, of course, but but it was fun, and that, all that stuff, that was so great. Nintendo Power.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then also you could play Pong in Mortal Kombat 2. And then Mortal Kombat 3, you could play Galaga.
Yeah. The game within a game.
Yeah, the game within the game. There's all kinds of games that they had mini games in it. So so there's a lot of stuff they crammed in there to be the better game, I guess. All right, someone's got my allergies going.
And then of course they had their movie.
They had like 3, didn't they?
Yeah, 2
or 3.
At least 2.
Yeah, there was at least 2. I don't remember if there's a 3.
Yeah, I don't remember 3.
I'm trying to find it. Yeah, at least
Annihilation 2. And it was the second one, right?
Yeah. And those
2 major.
I mean, those are bad as well. But
hold on.
But
Hold
but
on
they
for
were
a second.
they were good bad.
A new Mortal Kombat movie is happening as of July 10th, 2018.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's Raiden is 14 years old. Sonya Blade is a writer. Sub-Zero and Scorpion appear to be absent. And that's only the beginning. Wow.
Okay.
This is exciting.
Starring Kerry Russell as Felicity.
Oh, and actually, we forgot. Like Street Fighter did have another movie.
I thought
It was Chun-Li, like a Street Fighter story.
Nobody saw that movie though.
I saw it.
Did you? I never saw it.
It had Lana Lang in it.
I never saw it. Is it any good?
No.
There was another 8-minute Mortal Kombat short film called Mortal Kombat Rebirth.
That was good.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. That was cool. But yeah, the movies for Mortal Kombat, like I've put those on since.
Yeah.
They're just kind of
they're better movies.
They're awesome.
Like they're good horrible movies.
Yes. So especially Johnny Cage, you're just like this guy.
And then the second movie. In the second movie at the very beginning, like, oh, we don't want this guy in this movie to kill him.
Yeah. The soundtrack for the first one was pretty awesome. You know, for that time, it was like that was the music, and that was that's what you remember a lot of.
And any laser tag place you would go to play, that's like all they played was just the Mortal Kombat soundtrack over and over again.
I would always start at the. They would do the round one fight, and it's like, okay, laser tag.
Yeah, if it was on TNT or something like that in the afternoon on a Saturday or something, I was watching it because it was one of those good bad movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we've been going an hour, 22 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Do we have a?
Sorry.
Can we come up with a? Finish this.
Well, I mean, we kind of set some criteria up with like story, graphics, gameplay, and characters.
Mm-hmm. And I think the ultimate question that we can answer at the end is, which game would get your quarter at an arcade?
Oh, okay.
If you had one quarter and the games cost a quarter.
I was gonna say,
yeah. Which game would get your quarter? But we could go through the whole graphics. We could go through gameplay, all that stuff.
We could do all that.
Break this one up, man.
No. I mean, I'm not breaking it up. It's just going to be a long episode.
So like graphics, for me, like overall, from like the very first one till now, for me, I would say Street Fighter would take it.
Yeah, me too.
Because with the original, like Street Fighter looked better, like, and it's just progressed throughout it, and it's just constantly gotten better. Which Mortal Kombat's gotten better too, and the graphics on it now are like amazing.
Yeah.
That blood is blood.
Yeah, I mean it's a different style too. I mean those you're talking about. They're still trying to keep on the realistic side, whereas Street Fighter is the comic book style, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's very like just Street Fighter just seems they're both planned out, but there's just a certain level of detail that Street Fighter had.
Yep.
That I think kind of puts it above Mortal Kombat. So we're all in agreement on that.
I think so. Yeah. I just like it visually better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Story wise, is like so Mortal Kombat, it's like demons taking over the world, and Street Fighter is just like a tournament.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. It's just a tournament.
But I don't feel like Street Fighter is a tournament, really. I feel like you're just going to the next guy.
Yeah.
Like
well,
it doesn't
I think
feel
because of Karate Kid and stuff like that. That's what they were going for. It was sort of like a tournament, but a world tournament where you had to go to the different countries to battle.
And I mean, so for me, it's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, sort of was Mortal Kombat.
Especially with the movie, that kind of accented.
It really kind of.
And there's one game, I forget which one it is, but it has a whole quest in it, like a one-player quest you can play, and you like travel all around this world, and it's
Outworld.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so story-wise there, I mean, if you think about it, Street Fighter is sort of like the reverse Olympics of karate fighting. Instead of everybody meets one place, everybody goes to different places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Mortal Kombat gets story.
Yeah, and there's gameplay, which we kind of talked about, like Street Fighter, maybe a little bit more. You kind of have to know the moves a little bit.
It's more polished.
Yeah, it's more polished.
I mean,
that's like, yeah. In order to, if you walk up to someone in the arcade and play them, you got to know the moves.
Yeah.
For Street Fighter in order to take them down. While Mortal Kombat, like it seems like anybody can kind of step in and kind of play it and be more of a button masher.
You just have to learn
accidentally pull off moves.
Yeah. You just have to learn a couple of things, and they translate pretty much to every character, and you could, just kind of cheat it or game it, I guess is the word.
So I don't know. I mean, we may be divided on this one. I don't know. For me, I would prefer Mortal Kombat because, like, it was just easier to pick up.
Right.
Than Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think for me, when I first played them as a total noob, as they're called, yes, Mortal Kombat was easier, so it's like, oh yeah, I like this gameplay better. But I think as my palate has refined, I think I like Street Fighter better, just because once you get that down, it's just something that's just like, oh, that's just. I mean, I'm taking fatalities out of it because I'll never be able to do those.
Yeah.
But just something about shooting getting a fireball across the screen and doing those spinning kicks. It's just so cool. And once you get it down,
it's more elegant. It's the more elegant gameplay, and but I think it's the Mortal Kombat's the more fun for us that aren't as good, I guess. But
so I'm for Mortal Kombat. Ryan seems to be for Street Fighter.
Down to me.
Katrin,
Mortal Kombat's a close second, but for me, I think Street Fighter beats out.
Yeah, I think if I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna pick Mortal Kombat. I know. It's hard though because, like I said, it's the other is more elegant. I mean, it definitely is a prettier gameplay, and it's if you're good at it, it looks great. But it's I think if I'm going to talk about what I enjoy playing, it's going to be what I'm better at. It's going to be Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm. So then there's characters.
Mortal Kombat.
In Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. In the first games, Street Fighter definitely had more memorable characters and more like defined characters. They were different. Like they each had individual things. There's only two of them that were similar. Yeah. But as Mortal Kombat, there were quite a few that were similar. And of course, like we said, they were all played by like the same guy, the same girl. And they all had just basically the same move set and everything. But as it's gone along, like we were listing off a bunch of Street Fighter names. Like I didn't know any of those characters, but we named like some later characters for Mortal Kombat, and I knew them
because the later games got better.
Because the
characters got better because it was a big shift from. Oh, look, it's all the same people, too. Oh, look, there's actual other characters.
Yeah, so those are the characters. So, I mean, that's kind of hard because, off the bat, Street Fighter kind of had it. But then later on, like, I think Mortal Kombat kind of overtook them.
Because it seems like Street Fighter kind of stayed at the same.
Yeah, Street Fighter kind of stayed the same. I mean, they introduced more characters, but we named a bunch of those, and, like, I couldn't even tell you what they looked like. So for me, I'm kind of leaning towards Mortal Kombat again, towards characters. I don't know about you guys.
I'm going with Street Fighter for characters because I just think they're so cool. They're just like I know that there's sort of a core set of Street Fighter characters, and that core set is so different.
Yeah.
It's so unique. Where the core set of Mortal Kombat before they added mostly the same.
Yeah,
that is true.
I'm going off core set. Core set Street Fighter for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to kind of set the parameters for it if we're talking overall or if we're talking core set. Yeah, but
it's split again, Katrin.
I think I have to try to not think about the movie with Mortal Kombat because that makes me like the characters even more. Because you think about when you're playing the game, you're like, this is that silly guy, Johnny Cage, and
think about the game, Katrin.
But they also had you saw some of that in the game, too. And they had some neat things. I think though, I do think I'll go with Street Fighter on characters.
Yeah. So we're 2-2.
Trying to make this tied, so there's
trying to make it tied.
No.
So each one is 1-2 categories.
Yeah. So that was my instinct. This choice was that I was going to say Street Fighter, so I'll stick with that.
Okay. So the last thing is the quarter thing?
Yeah, which game, if you were in an arcade back in the 80s or whatever, which game would get, you only had one quarter, which game would get your quarter? Side by side.
That's tough. They're both fun. And I always play both of them at the arcade.
Yeah, all right. Your last quarter.
This is coming down.
But to me, like, in order to get my quarter, I want to have fun with it. I don't want to just die automatically.
Let's say that the person you're playing against is a total noob that does nothing.
Well, even if I'm just playing like against the CPU,
like
I would probably go to Mortal Kombat.
What's your problem?
I don't like. It's just like, in order to get my quarter, like I wanna like just
make it worth your.
Yeah,
quarter.
You want to smash some buttons, is what you're saying.
Yes.
I love button smashing. I do love the button smash, and like you said, we can't include it, but Capcom versus Marvel, that's all you do in that game is button smash. And that's just super fun.
And they have Street Fighter, so you should go Street Fighter.
No, I gotta go Mortal Kombat. It's gonna take my quarter.
Well, okay, so are we gonna make Katrin the deciding? Because here's my logic behind it. Okay, Mortal Kombat is a really fun game. I've played Mortal Kombat a ton. I haven't played it in a long time because I don't have any Mortal Kombats for any of the new systems. But for me, Mortal Kombat is one of those games where what makes it fun is all the extra stuff that's sort of hidden and that you find and that you learn how to do, like fatalities and stuff. So if I had one quarter, I want to go into the game knowing, okay, this is a great game, well executed. I'm going to have fun with it no matter if I find anything. And for me, that's Street Fighter. If they're side by side, I will probably choose Street Fighter every time because it's just such a fun game. When we were at Comic Palooza, the game that we went to was Street Fighter, and we played it for a long time. It's just a fun arcade game, pure arcade game.
Yeah, but then we went into the game room with all the systems, and we played Mortal Kombat.
Why did we play Mortal Kombat? Because we were waiting to play Capcom versus Marvel.
Well, you could play it on the same system.
We didn't know that at first.
I wanted to play Mortal Kombat. That's what I sat down.
Because you won. And then Capcom versus Marvel, you lost every time. Because nobody beats me with War Machine and who else did I use on there? There's a bunch. I love that game. But we're not talking about that game. But for me, I think if I had one quarter and I just wanted to have a few minutes of just fun, it would be Street Fighter. If I had on a console to sit down and try to find all the secret stuff, then maybe Mortal Kombat. But if it's just an arcade, Street Fighter.
Okay, true.
Mortal Kombat.
No, come on!
Yeah.
You don't even have any reasoning behind it.
I'm sorry. I'm on the same page with Chris. I think
Fatality.
I'm gonna go to a game. If those two are sitting beside each other, and I have 1 quarter, so my last day on Earth, and I'm at an arcade, I have a quarter. It's gonna be a game that I'm gonna enjoy. Even if it's, and hopefully I'm playing against somebody that knows how to do that stuff because I love watching it. But I can do some of those things. I don't know that I could do a fatality anymore. I think I did those more on the console version.
Yeah.
I think I did play it on Super Nintendo or something because I feel like it was easier because you have the D-pad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the moves are some of them, a lot of them are the same, but the special moves, it was just really fun to watch that.
And that's a good point with that, like, that you made. Like, even if you lose, like, there's still a really fun ending to watch. That you're just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that just happened. That's awesome.
If whoever you're playing with can pull it off.
Yeah, every time I think of the game, I think of Greg Jones. I hope he's listening because I think he listens. Thank you, Greg Jones. He would play as the robot guy with the yellow robot, and he would kill you, and he would throw a bomb at the last second so that when you fell down, you laid there for a second, and then all of a sudden the bomb would go off and you fly up in the air because the timing was perfect on it. You know, he had that down to a science, and the stuff like that. It was just a lot of fun, and I just was terrible. I would play a lot of Street Fighter, and if I played my brother, I'd probably beat him, you know, and do really well. But anybody else, I really didn't do well because they would be E Honda or Chun-Li, and I feel like I'm always like doing the wrong thing in Street Fighter. I feel like I'm always backing off, doing I'm not trying to jump backwards, but I just did. Or I'm just pushing not the strong punch or what, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy them both.
I love them both.
But I think Mortal Kombat's got my quarter.
Well, it's close, but I think Mortal Kombat takes it.
I don't know. The good thing here about I Am Geek is that
if Ryan loses.
This is the show for the geek in all of us. So it's the show for the button smashing geek, and it's the show for the more refined palate geek. You know, so we like them all here. So whether you're a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter, thank you for listening to I Am Geek. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Mortal Kombat 1.
It does make me feel like I'm a cheap, person or whatever. I feel like I should have the refined answer and say, the Street Fighter is
feel cheap.
But
you should cry yourself to sleep tonight.
I'm honest, I'm gonna play Mortal
Kombat.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and play them both, but
no, it's okay. There's nothing.
I like them both. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Both good games.
Visually, I would much rather watch Street Fighter. I don't know. Plus, I'm not huge into blood and guts, so there's always that.
But you love horror movies, and
well, no, I'm not necessarily love horror movies. We can talk about this some other time. I like going to like Halloween Horror Nights because of the detail and like you're walking into a movie. That's what I like. I don't just sit down and watch horror movies.
I didn't used to. I've enjoyed them a lot more recently, and like Evil Dead movies and Hellboy and things like that.
Well, you're evil, so
That's true. I am evil.
I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street after school with some friends. Somebody had it, and that scared the crap out of me. So I'd never have really liked horror movies that much.
Well, we're going to Halloween Horror Nights together, so it's going to be
great.
Fun. Anyway, so I mean, we're like an hour 40 into this.
Let's just keep.
Yeah,
let's keep going.
Thank you guys. I hope you had fun with this battle, this Battle Royale with Cheese episode. If you want more, let us know on our Twitter. It's probably the best way to let us know stuff. At I Am Geek or Facebook, you can find us. We've had
Ryan's number is
8765309. Just give me a call.
No, that's my wife's number.
Whoa, this song was about her?
Yeah, the song's about her. Her name's Jenny.
That's true. So I want to throw this out there at the ending because we had somebody on Facebook give us a something that they thought would be cool for us to try. And I want you guys, if you want to let us know what you think, let us know. Because we're trying to figure out the best way to do it. Katrin and I have been watching Big Brother this season. Chris doesn't watch it.
No.
Because he's a button smasher. But anyways.
Wow.
I think there's a t-shirt in here somewhere. I don't know. We'll have to figure this out. Anyway, but we've been watching it and somebody said, hey, you should do a Big Brother style episode with superheroes. So basically superheroes would go into the Big Brother's house and then we would see who comes out as the Big Brother superhero champion. We're trying to figure it out how that's actually going to work. If you think that's a good idea or you'll have fun with that, let us know on Twitter or wherever, or email us or whatever. Let us know what you think about that. Somebody's already, if you watch Big Brother, there's a thing called Zingbot that comes in every now and then. Somebody already said that Deadpool should definitely just be Zingbot and come in and just give everybody zingers. Zing!
Zing!
Anyways, so long episode. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you can, go on iTunes and give us a rating or review. It subscribe. It all helps to get us sort of further up in the ladder or whatever on iTunes.
Sure.
But we're also on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google something, Google Play, I think. I don't know. I think we're on about everything. Podbean.
Yeah. Anywhere you find.
Yeah.
We're on for Spotify.
Yeah, we're on what you're listening to right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you guys have nothing else, I guess we'll wrap this up.
Yeah. Oh, good. Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, barely. Barely. But, what are you going to do? Anyways, this has been I Am Geek episode 66. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Toasty!